All right. Hello, sixth graders. Hope you guys are doing all right. If you notice, I did get a haircut, gave it to myself because I couldn't go to the barber shop. Um, that's not the point of this video, though. This video that I'm making is just going to be me reading through the session one reading for this second week of digital learning. Figured you guys probably missed hearing my voice, so that's why I'm doing this. You don't have to listen to it. If you want to just read it on your own, you can. But remember, this is very similar to what we do in class when we actually had school. So I do expect you guys are doing the reading and you have the Skyward questions open at the same time. So this is supposed to be something that's relatively easy. The answers should be right in the passage. So make sure that you have the Skyward questions open as you're listening to this, or if you choose to just read it on your own, make sure that you have the Skyward questions up as you are reading. I'm just going to switch views to this. So this is the session one reading for this week. So here we go. I'm not going to pause at all. I'll just go through and read it. But this is about, so this week's topic is about the moon, and this session one reading is about analyzing moon phases. So the moon is the brightest body in the night sky as seen from Earth, but it does not emit any light of its own. The light we see from the moon is light reflected from the sun. The sun always lights half of the moon, and the other half is always dark. As the moon rotates, the areas that are lit by the sun change. Light from the sun falls on Earth in the same way. So a couple key takeaways from this. The moon does not produce any light of its own. The moon actually kind of acts like a mirror in the sky where it's reflecting the sun's light. So if you go out at night or even in the day, sometimes you see the moon. When you see the lit up portion of the moon, the illuminated portion of the moon, it's actually just a reflection of the sun. All right, so now phases of the moon, getting into the phases. You know that the moon appears to move through the sky. It also appears to change shape. It changes from no moon at all to a small crescent to a full disk and back to no moon. These changes are phases of the moon. A phase is a change in the sunlit area of one celestial body, such as the moon, as seen from another celestial body, such as Earth. You can predict the phase of the moon on any day because the phases happen in a regular pattern. Now, I want to point out that when they say celestial body right here, the celestial body just really means like an object in space. All right, I'll continue. The phase that the moon is in on a given day is the same during the day and night, and then is just a little different the next day and night. The side of the moon that is lit is always the side closest to where the sun set. Each night, as the crescent grows larger, the moon is seen higher in the sky. As the moon phase continues to grow, the moon is seen farther and farther away from where the sun set. When the moon is full, it rises at just about the time of sunset. This question is actually one of the Skyward questions. I think it's question number 3. Why does the moon appear to change shape throughout each month? Is it because the fraction of the moon that is lit by the sun changes? If we go back here, I believe it says that, and this is really it, the fraction of the moon that is lit up is always the same. Half of the moon is always lit up, the half that is facing the sun. So I'll give you guys a hint. It's not A. Now I want you guys to try to determine if it's either B or C. Would it be because different parts of the moon become visible from Earth as the moon rotates? Or is it C? Different parts of the sunlit area are visible from Earth due to motions in the Earth-Sun-Moon system. We'll continue. So now types of moon phases. The appearance of the moon as seen from Earth changes as the moon orbits Earth. This happens because observers on Earth see different ratios of light and dark on the moon's surface. Think about what happens when the moon is between Earth and the sun. From Earth, the moon appears totally dark. This is called a new moon. And if you look down here, where is it? Right here, you can see like an image of this. So what they just mentioned was like right here. This would be the new moon. You can see that there's this little red indicator indicating that that's the new moon. What they just said is that when the moon is in between the Earth and the sun, we don't see any of the lit up portion of the moon. So we actually just see, we see like nothing. You don't really see the moon. Sometimes you can kind of see like a very faint image of the moon, but nothing is illuminated because we don't see the side of the moon that's lit up by the sun. So again, this is called the new moon. As the moon moves through its orbit, the size of the sunlit portion of the moon that you can see from Earth increases. The full moon occurs when Earth is between the moon and the sun. And if we go down here, that would be right here. This blue indicator is indicating a full moon. It's a full moon when we see the entire sunlit portion of the moon. Okay. During a full moon, you can see the entire sunlit portion of the moon. As the moon moves further in its orbit, the lit part of the moon you can see begins to decrease. The pattern of surface features that you see on the surface of the moon is the same in any phase. The same side of the moon always faces Earth because the moon's orbit and the time the moon takes to rotate are the same. So that's actually saying that as the moon is rotating around Earth, or as the moon is revolving around Earth, it's rotating at about the same speed. So we only see, whether it's the lit up portion or not, we only see one side of the moon. There are, I think I was right here. There are about 20. They are both 27 days. The moon takes slightly longer, 29.5 days, to complete one cycle of phases. This takes longer than 27 days because Earth is moving in its orbit around the sun. Because Earth and the moon have changed position with respect to the sun, the moon must travel a little longer than 27 days to complete one cycle of phases. And then these images, I hear my daughter coming. These images are just supposed to kind of help you get a visual. Come here, Ruby. Come here. These images are really just supposed to give you a better idea of kind of what you see from the Earth perspective. Hopefully this helped. Remember, you should have the Skyward questions up as you're listening to this, and if you need to rewatch it, if you really miss hearing my voice and you want to rewatch it again, you can do that. Definitely let me know if you have any questions.